Maybe you made $1 zillion last week trading TLRY. Maybe you just saw other people make money. But the question is, what can you do today to make money? And I have some ideas for you coming up next. So TLRY has been a big stock in the news. A lot of people have been watching it trade. There's tons of videos out there on it, et cetera, et cetera. And I went through some stuff with it last week on some options ideas, and we find it today coming into the session offered almost at $100. So what are some ideas about TLRY coming into the session today? Well, first of all, and I know this is obvious to many people, but I'm going to state it anyways. TLRY is not going to go down forever. It's going to bounce somewhere, right? I mean, it's an exciting stock and everything. It made that huge run up to 300, and now it's back offered at 101, but it is going to bounce at some point. So the question is, where does it bounce and how do we play it? And I think one thing to do would be to sell some out of the money puts, because this thing is not going to zero. That's for sure. Now, where the down move ends, we don't know, but I would suggest to you that people that bought this on a whim when it was up higher than here might be just giving up and getting out. But once all those people get out, it's going to stop going down, and there should be some opportunity here. Let's wait and see how the options open up in the morning. Right now, it's trading just around $100, and it will be interesting to see. I'm going to be looking, as far as time frame, at probably the stuff just for this week. Just looking to play the weeklies, because that's where a lot of the action will be, and it's easier to kind of just price it logically, looking at the weeklies. And if we start moving a lot, I'll be doing what I was doing Friday, which was trying to leg into some interesting spreads. Friday, I was able to leg into some of these put spreads for credits. And what I was able to do is look on the board, find a relatively cheap put that was slightly out of the money. And as we moved lower, I was able to buy one put and then sell a lower strike for a higher price than I'd bought the first put. Now you have to be careful when you're doing this, because you can get stuck. You can buy something and then it starts to move against. So it's a little bit tricky. But with so many options on the board and the market's so chaotic, there are opportunities out there if you scour the board. I like to set up my screen. Let me move myself for a second here. I like to set up the screen behind me showing the bids and offers. I have a custom setup for my screen here. Wait, I thought I just X myself out. Okay, so at the top of this screen here in Thinkorswim, you can change the layout and you can customize it the way you want. But I have this one set up with just the bid-ask size, and then it also has my position, so I can remember that. And I have nothing on TLRY going into today. I'm in. I have cash put aside to trade this one, so exciting stuff going on. And I'm going to look on the screen and see bids and offers. I want to see active people who are an active buyer or seller who's trying to, either pay through mid-market somehow, putting a bid or an offer up, or resting orders that are sitting there. And as the stock moves in one direction or another, I'm going to try to pick off resting orders that are in the book in these options. So I'm sort of an opportunist with this one today, looking on the screen, seeing what resting orders are there, and trying to respond to that. So I'm going to be looking at my screen and the bid offer size on different option series. Then I'm going to be flipping back to the Analyze tab and quickly looking at time and sales to see where the action is option-wise in this issue. With my time and sales, I'm going to be modifying it to pick out specific months. I might just go to that front week series, select that one on my time and sales, so that I'm just getting information from that particular month. But then at times I want to back up and also just see generally what's trading in this. Now, as we're going down like this, we want to look to the upside. Are they cheap? Can we leg into an inexpensive call vertical to the upside? Remember, we don't just want to sell too many out of the money calls as we're going down, because if this turns around, those can blow up in your face. So we want to look for cheap opportunities here. It's an exciting time. I know many of you have watched that Anton Creel video saying that, like, well, the days of the Wild West are over. Well, not in these stocks. This is the Wild West here. Let's go quickly to NBEV. NBEV now offered at $4.50. So the idea that I had yesterday talking about selling these puts, I was talking about selling the puts for $1.45. That's kind of off the table now. Those puts are going to open a lot higher probably, but there should be other opportunities here. There might be opportunity to sell the 4 puts even for a high price. Once again, with this issue, this could potentially bounce also. I mean, at the very least, if it gets down to like $2, it looks like there's a pretty good floor here around $2. So if it gets anywhere lower, I would say, than like 3, then you could feel comfortable selling out of the money puts. That's kind of obvious. Some of this stuff is obvious. It's very hard to talk about options trading in a YouTube video because people are from different skill levels. So if I start explaining what a put is, then people say that I'm being too simplistic. Some people say I'm being too simplistic. But if I start getting real technical, then I lose half the people. So it's very hard with different skill levels. So I'm doing the best I can to put something that is applicable to everybody. So once again, TLRY, we are going to get a bounce here at some point, I think we'll get bounces where it's just oversold and it bounces and then it goes lower again, but we're also going to get a bounce where this just stops going down and continues its upward move at some point. So stay aware for that. Stay limber here and be careful, folks. Friday was a crazy day, and I got caught for a second. I bought something, and it moved against me for a while. But be patient. You don't want to lock in losses with options trading if you can help it. You want to try to avoid that and be creative with spreads and whatnot so that you're not locking in losses. There's 1,000 different options in TLRY, 1,000 different option strikes. There's got to be a way to craft a position to get around locking in losses in specific strikes. So that's just a couple things to keep in mind, and good luck trading today. My interview with Dr. Duru will be coming out at some point soon, so stay tuned for that. And